for the DUv chip. Manufacturer is not providing parts as explained. And that's the process. That's what you're going to run into when we want to resolve these problems. And unfortunately, we're just that type of people who won't give up, and we will fight because we're used to what we're used to. We have no one to contact. We have no one to talk to. There's no manufacturer, so we have to accept what we've done to ourselves. So stop taking it out on each other. Do your due diligence research. Service providers are supposed to provide information that is accurate and true. If you don't know, be honest. Just say you don't know and you'll find out the answer. People will appreciate that more so than to, if they have to engage to fix their problem, you're going to have a problem. So you want to stop that problem before it occurs. You're the professional. Remember, we all have our jobs to do. The best part of this is observation. The first contact is the first impression you get. And she is ready. She has gotten her research about this problem completely down, and she's going to teach me some things. I understand. I'm here to assist.
It's the dishwasher over there in the right corner.
And what is it doing or not doing?
Well, we got an error message.
Still, keep in mind, we are still practicing social distancing. So it's still very important that we are aware. I have noticed a lot of relaxed circumstances and situations that I would prefer not to have been in. But this is part of a hazard and willing to take that hazard. So be aware. We're still in social distance practicing.
If the water supply valve connection leak occurs, closed water
Just
supply.
one moment.
Okay.
Okay, here, let's take a look at what this LC code says. And this is where the YouTube illusion begins. It's not just clear facts. LC. Let's take a reading on this. Okay, I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, he seems pretty agitated. But do you know how many times you have been put in a situation where you have been diverted from the problem? Too many times. So you have to stay focused. When you have diversions, then you can't fix the problem in good health. And good health is being prepared to know the other details that are not shared or shown on YouTube. Only the good stuff is shown, but these are the undercurrent information you do not know. But be prepared to hear these things. It might sound harsh to get to the point, but I am so focused to clear this misunderstanding. There would be nothing that can be done. So first on to-do list, power supply. And have you had a chance to reset your house breaker yet?
We turned it off because that's.
And you have turned it on and you have turned it off?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times have you done that?
Probably three because
Three
we haven't
times.
run the.
Okay. So that means that your house breaker is good. I'm going to verify it down below here to make sure that you are getting power. If you are getting power down below at the terminal, then that tells me that there's a problem in the electronic control board. And so that means that there's going to be an issue with the electronic power to ground from the terminal and source going to the touchpad control, going via through the main control board. And so my first impression is that you have a bad control board. And so I'm going to verify that once I verify that there is power coming to this dishwasher. That shouldn't take me very long. So give me one moment, and then I'll let you know what I find.
Okay. Do you need me to flip the breaker for you?
I do not.
Okay. Because it's not on. Battery is off.
Give me one moment and I'll let you know what I find. Once again, this is a control board mounted power source mounted down at the base of the dishwasher. Water gets down below here and gets onto the control board that is mounted right here, then yes, your chance of a bad control board due to water leakage and spillage is a very good indicator. And this is a splash protector that sits up underneath here, and that is wet. So that's telling me that you're getting splash over there. So I want to check to see if there's any power. I know. Even though I was advised that there's no power on the dishwasher, you still have to stay in perfect practice. The minute you skip a step will be the time that you regret. And so, even though people are more than willing to assist you, you still have to stay in your form of diagnosis. So I know there's no power applied to the dishwasher. I know. And the breaker is not sending power to the dishwasher. So at this
social
time,
distancing
the
means
dishwasher is
social
not
distancing. We should not
adequate
make
power
any
supply
unnecessary
to
contact
turn the
with each other. The liberty is just turn the dishwasher on, please.
So at this time, the dishwasher.
See, the dishwasher should have been on the minute I walked in. And so I know that the dishwasher being turned on wasn't going to turn the dishwasher back on, as you wouldn't see here.
Therefore, the responsibility of the dishwasher now has been verified.
Of course, the next step would be checking the house breaker, and of course, the house breakers was then turned on,
Finding an electrician
applying power.
that
So now I can do the next step. Yay!
In the home circuit breaker is adequate. And this is the terminal block in which you establish power from the house circuit breaker to the dishwasher terminal block. If you do not establish power, and then if there's no power, then you know that the dishwasher is not the cause. Then you know that the house is not sending power to the dishwasher.
Is there a power cord that needs to be plugged in?
And here, you must always be courteous, answer all questions, and get to the point, but stay focused on the reason you were there to begin with.
Is hardwired into the circuitry. And so I was asked if this was an outlet, but this outlet here serviced the garbage disposal, and it's an independent line, and so the dishwasher is also on an independent line, and so this is not associated to what's causing the dishwasher to not power up. The indicator that has been measured out and also powered indicated out to be the house circuit breaker, because if there's power sitting, then you'll get
Now, this is the chance to be professional. This is when you get back to the point of what you are there for. Reestablishing issues of industry.
Here, as you can see,
Notice here, when power was applied, the dishwasher did not go into an automatic default, which would be pump turning on and not able to push any touchpad control.
Now that she's reset the house circuit breaker, now there is power sitting on the dishwasher.
Yay! Power is applied. Now it's time to get to the inside information in which people have no access to.
So there's verification. Now there's power sitting there. No power. Power. No power. Power.
Access of information? No access of
Indicator.
information.
Power.
Access of information?
Power.
No access of information.
Once again.
I like
Indication,
access
no
of
power.
information.
Indicator.
No access of
Has
information.
power.
Give me information, please. Access of information granted.
Okay, Samsung dishwasher. Now that power has been established.
Once again, stay informed and stay focused and concentrate for a specific reason.
Once power is applied.
Please, can I explain? Can I explain, please? Power granted.
The dishwasher is inoperative.
Okay, this is the part where you as a technician and a professional really have to understand you are contradicting what they have diligently researched.
You charge a person a certain amount of money, you cannot warranty what you charge them. So you have to make sure and be very clear that your concentration is not disturbed, because you are employed as a contractor and you need to be respected in a work environment. And so therefore you need to be very, very direct. It may appear to be a little rude sometimes, but if you charge people money, they have to give you the opportunity to do your job.
Okay.
I'm just saying, the man
We can just tell you
there's
what,
a leak.
Just one moment. I'm
What
still
happened?
diagnosing.
because I was here when it happened.
And I have already decided that this control board is bad.
Basically, in the back of my mind, I'm knowing that the dishwasher went into an anti-flood moment because water had gotten down below. But that's not really the problem. The problem is that the control board is beginning to get wet and saturated. And so it's not going to be a consistent repair. She will now have another complaint less than 3 weeks because that control board down at the bottom is affected by the water that's splashing down there.
Question is,
And I know on YouTube it says that the electrodes are wet, and that is true also. But this is a type of complaint that is a design issue that cannot be resolved. I'm knowing that she and he are a little upset, so I'm just taking my time so that they can have time to breathe, so that we can think, and also I can get right to the main problem, which is electronic non-repairable issue. So this dishwasher will be replaced no matter what you do to
power
it.
to ground, which not receiving any ground control from the main control board. So let's contact parts and see where we can locate the control board, and also the touchpad is not affected. That's a integrated interface control, which is working just fine. That's why you hear the tone sound. So the main board is the problem. Now, giving clear, what we call clear disclosure in our industry. We are aware that the DUv chips are no longer available, and there is a chip supply shortage, which affects these supplies and replacement parts. They're not making these boards no longer, because the chip that is inside these boards and all of our electronics current to date are now considered old. Our system nationwide is changing because of the DUv chips in our electronics, and we can see the effects in the industry and out in the field. And the EUV chip is what's going to be the appliances that we're going to be replacing these appliances for. And so the misunderstanding of what's going on as far as appliance repair and replacements of components and access to components and availability, that is going to be very difficult process for the next 8 months or so, until these EUV chips are supplied in the new appliances. And so be aware that these components that we are replacing are still the DUV designs, which are no longer being made. Eventually this dishwasher will be forced to be replaced eventually. And so what I have been able to do is I've been able to ground out the stray voltage that was in the touchpad control.
Even though YouTube says it is a water leakage
These would not
and
allow
you're getting
me
a
to
water leakage code, but
apply
that is
any
not what's causing the problem. And if it is a water leakage code,
touchpad.
it is intermittent, which means it's going to be dried up and it's going to reoccur. It's going to dry up and reoccur. But the control board is getting wet in that process. So this dishwasher is a limit.
I do believe that this is probably going to be an intermittent issue. So you're definitely going to make sure that you are very firm and understood about these electronic issues. They're intermittent. And so the correct repair for this is to replace the control board. But unfortunately, I know that board is not going to be available, or it's going to be back ordered at the manufacturer's level, which is going to take about 3 to 4 weeks. No one's going to wait that long. They're going to be irritated, they're going to be upset, and they're going to be extremely not understanding what's going on. So it's our job as excellence in our industry to explain these things as best as we can. Shortage because of DUV, electronic upgrade, and
only after it shuts down from indicating a wet electrode, then it cannot receive any controls because it completely shuts down.
So this would be considered intermittent. So would you charge full price? No, you would not charge full price for something like this because you couldn't guarantee it. So this would be something more or less of an instructional diagnosis with regards to changes in the industry, because this dishwasher is going to be replaced because the parts are not going to be available, unfortunately. But if you can, and if you're willing to wait, if you can get another year out of it with a new board, remember that board has been sitting around for a while, for however long you have had your appliance. That's how long these electronics have been shelved, and they are going to fail. When they fail, you're going to have to replace your appliance, and that's just the bottom line. We have to exhaust our supplies, and so that the new appliances can replace those old appliances. And so these DUV chips are not available. Thank you. DUV chip manufacturer is not providing parts as explained. And that's the process. That's what you're going to run into when we want to resolve these problems. And unfortunately, we're just that type of people who won't give up, and we will fight because we're used to what we're used to. We have no one to contact. We have no one to talk to. There's no manufacturer, so we have to accept what we've done to ourselves. So stop taking it out on each other. Do your due diligence research. Service providers are supposed to provide information that is accurate and true. If you don't know, be honest. Just say you don't know and you'll find out the answer. People will appreciate that more so than to, if they have to engage to fix their problem, you're going to have a problem. So you want to stop that problem before it occurs. You're the professional. Remember, we all have our jobs to do.